Church of St. Stephen. In the central section of the panel, we find the church layout with the relating key on the left. On the right side, we find essential information regarding the building and the facade design. Introduction. The Church of St. Stephen was built in the 13th century by the hermit friars of St. Augustine. Rebuilt in the 14th century, it was later radically altered in the 15th century, when its apses were extended to surpass a stream that flowed behind. The original vast convent compound is today only partially used for religious purposes. In fact, the bell tower is located far away from the church itself. Layout. The church is a trapezoid and grows narrower towards the apse. It is divided into 3 naves by columns that support 6 pointed arches on each side that, as they grow more slender in height, add to the church's beauty. The columns are in Greek white marble, alternated with red Verona marble, and capitals painted and gilded in 14th century style. The central nave, number 1, is lit not only by facade windows but also by lunette side windows, opened in the 1700s. The ceiling was created during the 15th century reconstruction in the form of an upside-down keel vault. It is decorated with multicolored rosettes and joined below by wooden beams. This is a rare example to have survived of a particular type of ceiling made by Venetian masters, especially skilled in building ships. At the center of the middle nave, on the floor, we find the 17th century tomb plaques of the Doji Francesca Morosini. Made in multicolored marble with bronze reliefs by the artist from Genoa Filippo Parodi. In the 2 side naves, number 2, we find 5 altars on the left side and 4 altars on the right side. These altars display important works of Venetian painting from the 15th to the 18th centuries. The presbytery, number 3, located above the ancient crypt, presents pointed arches with cross vaults and closes with a polygonal apse, number 5, dating to the early 1400s, closed off by a marble transept right next to the main altar, number 4. In the early 1400s, the church was extended so as to surpass with its apse the Santissimo stream, which can still be used when there is low tide. In the polygonal apse, visitors can admire a magnificent wooden inlaid choir from 1488. To the sides of the presbytery, at the end of the side naves, we find 2 chapels. To the left, one dedicated to Saint Michael, number 6, and to the right, the Santissimo, number 7. At the end of the left nave, we can enter the Baptist Chapel, number 8, used as a baptistry in 1810. To the right of the Santissimo Chapel, we find the entrance to the main sacristy, number 9, that hosts 4 important paintings by Tintoretto. The Last Supper, letter A, Resurrection, letter B. Christ washing the feet of the apostles, letter C, and praying in the garden, letter D. The sacristy leads to a small cloister, number 10, where we find a museum of the church's sculptures and includes the funerary stele of Giovanni Falier by Antonio Canova from 1808. Facade. The Church of St. Stephen overlooks on its right side the square by the same name. The main facade opens onto a calle, but unfortunately from here the overall design cannot be appreciated. The simple 14th century brick facade presents a marble doorway by Bartolomeo Bon, along with a large central rose window and tall side windows. It is made with bricks divided into 3 sections by pilaster strips that mark the inner space, with a jutting central body corresponding to the main nave and 2 sloping wings where the 2 side naves are found. Along the facade's eaves, we find a series of Lombard bands, while at the top there are 5 ediculae in Istria and Verona stone. The central part of the facade and the 2 side sections present 4 tall double-arched windows inside a pointed arch. At the center of the middle section, we see a large rose window topped by an additional smaller-sized oculus. Below, the impressive doorway, designed by Bartolomeo in 1442, is characterized by a late Gothic lunette, whose edges are decorated outwards with vast vegetal elements and inwards with trefoil Lombard bands. At the sides of the lunette, empty at the center, we find 2 slender 8-sided spires, while at the top, above the high relief of an angel holding a scroll, we see a small marble statue portraying Christ Pantocrator. Additional information. The bell tower of St. Stephen can be seen in the distance from the square by the same name, but the best view is from the nearby Campo Sant'Angelo. Romanesque in design, with 3 arches topped by an 8-sided tambour, it is tall 66 meters, one of the city's highest, and stands out due to its leaning position. In fact, while it was being built, the foundations gave way. Even today, the leaning, around 2 meters from the top to the bottom, can still be seen. Though it doesn't pose any real risk, it is constantly kept under control.